It's been ages since being able to sit down and talk about my video game collection, and today is definitely about damn time to get myself back into that topic. Now, the PlayStation 5 console is still pretty new to me because I've only had this console for over 1 year, and I'm pretty sure that I'll be adding more PS5 games to the collection. So consider this video as my early PlayStation 5 video game collection. So today, I'll be showing you what kind of PlayStation 5 video games I've managed to obtain so far since grabbing the console for myself. Roughly 17 video games, give or take. You'll be seeing physical copies only, and that's due to me not being a massive fan of digital releases. I don't mind grabbing a few digital games here and there for the monthly free games and easy platinum trophies to obtain, but the disc versions are the ones I'll be talking about today. So with that being said, let's begin. Starting from A to Z, we kick things off with Battlefield 2042. This is my first multiplayer game for the PS5 console, and I'm no stranger to Battlefield. I am getting exhausted of online games heavily focused on microtransactions and paying additional cash for a variety of different items, and I'll be honest, I couldn't get myself into this game at all. But it did come with the console after all, so that's really the only reason why I even have this game in the first place. I've been hearing a lot of positive things about this one, and since it features Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, of course I had to get this one. Now, outside of being an Uber Eats simulator meme, I really enjoyed this game. Not the best video game I've played by any means, but also not the worst game out there. Here we have is Demon Slayer. I'm a massive sucker for anime, and this game was actually given to me as a gift from my girlfriend, so she definitely knows my taste. This game was surprisingly okay to me. I love going through the game, seeing some recognizable characters, and going through the story. If you love Demon Slayer, then this is a must-buy for you. Next up is Elden Ring, my personal favorite game on the PlayStation 5 collection, and also one of my favorite games to platinum. Elden Ring can be brutal and somewhat unfair at times, but when you build up your character via the stats and obtain some powerful weapons and magic, you'll feel like an absolute boss. This is my first time playing through a Dark Souls type of game, and I can't wait to experience some more. The next game to talk about is Far Cry 6. This is another game that came with the console when I first got it, and I was unsure of what to think of it before playing it, but I did remember enjoying it. I like the Rebellion storyline, and the actor behind the main villain did an amazing performance. It is unclear to me if I'll come back to Far Cry 6, but I am glad I tried it out at least. Next up is Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, my very first FNAF game I ever got to experience. I definitely want to try out more FNAF games out there, and this game was an okay introduction to the series for me. I can't help but feel clickbaited though, especially after watching the trailers and thinking to myself, this is the direction they're going with, only to be taken to a different pathway. Regardless though, I had a fun time. The next game is God of War Ragnarok, and wow, this game had some high expectations to reach and they managed to succeed. Story is top notch, gameplay is improved, and platinuming this game was a delight. If I could recommend any game to collect out of this list for the PlayStation 5, it'll totally be this one. Next up is Gotham Knights. I was shocked to hear that this game isn't a part of the Arkham series and is instead set in a different timeline. Now the game itself, meh. I can see the appeal of what they were going for here, but I just think the execution was not there for me in my opinion. The next game on the list is Horizon Forbidden West. Really glad I was able to give this series a chance last year and end up enjoying both Zero Dawn and Forbidden West to a point where I end up platinuming both of them. Forbidden West, I'll admit, isn't exactly as great as Zero Dawn MIO, as I felt this game is a lot more easier, but I'm not trying to bash this game by any means. It's still fun to play as you take on the gigantic robotic monsters and it becomes so satisfying when defeating them. Next up is LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Of course, I can't have a video game collection without mentioning a LEGO game. And if you're a massive fan of Star Wars, you'll definitely have an interest in this one in particular. It's all 9 Star Wars movies wrapped up in a single LEGO game. What more could you ask for? It's a little bit rushed in some areas, but you'll still be in for a fun time. Next up is Man-Eater. I always will be a sucker for arcade-style video games, and after hearing about how you can play as a shark and eat people, I needed to get that game ASAP. And it's actually really good to play as well, from how you start as a baby shark, sorry, it's still a force of habit, to work your way to being an elder shark. It's really cool, believe it or not. Highly recommend trying this one out. Next on our collection is Nickelodeon's All-Star Brawl. Beat-em-up games with a ton of different recognizable characters have gotten extremely popular nowadays, so I'm not surprised that this game is available to play. If you love your Nickelodeon shows and like to play characters like SpongeBob, Danny Phantom, Nigel Thornberry, and among others, then this one will be a treat for you. Here we have Is the Quarry. I'll be honest, I was after a horror game to play, and this is what I found at Big W. It is another one of those interactive games that's heavily focused on storytelling, similar to Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain. So you might end up liking it or disliking it, depending if you enjoy this type of genre. I personally didn't like it, but I do like the voice actors here. Next up is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. This game was the main reason why I ended up getting a PlayStation 5 console in the first place, and it's the third game that came with the console itself. I did enjoy playing Rift Apart with its fun weapons to use and cool locations to explore. Yeah, it's not my personal favorite Ratchet & Clank game, but I like it, and I am keen to see where things are heading with the next installment. Next up is Sonic Frontiers. If I could say something without offending Sonic fans, is that I am not a huge fan of 2D Sonic games, but I do enjoy some other 3D Sonic games like Sonic Team Racing, and now I absolutely enjoy Sonic Frontiers. Just a fun single-player game featuring one of the most iconic video game characters is something I can't complain about. Good times, that game. Next up on our list is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. More Star Wars games, you love to see it. I recently got this game to try and hype myself up for the sequel, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And oh boy, Fallen Order did not disappoint. I like how the game ties into the aftermath of Order 66, and the ability to customize our very own lightsaber is a nice touch as well for many Star Wars fans. And the last game on the list is WWE 2K22, because you can't end a list off without a wrestling game. Comparing this game to WWE 2K20, it's automatically a masterpiece. I've already expressed my feelings on 2K20, so we'll just leave it at that. Despite feeling the same as many other 2K games with its gameplay, it is really cool to see General Manager mode finally making its return, and I enjoyed the Superstar mode on Universe mode. If you're into modern wrestling games, this one is a must-buy. And that was my PlayStation 5 video game collection. So far, that is. I thank you all so much for watching, and let me know how your collection is going for the PlayStation 5 video games. Do let me know. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Instagram, the link will be down in the description box below. And as always, take care, thank you for watching, and I will catch you all next time.